The honey badger, very popular with a lot of you. A lot of you guys like the honey badger a lot. And I've shown you that from ZHENDUOtoys.com is one of the places where you get the honey badger. That's who sent me this one. You can see there, you've watched it. A lot of people love that blowback feature, right? And ZHENDUOtoy also sends me some broken pieces, broken parts, returns occasionally, where I can go ahead and find those and harvest parts and customize things if I can't fix them. So I showed you in the build plan how I was going to make this M4A1 adapted to some of these honey badger parts. So here, since I have both the blasters, you know, one that is working, then obviously parts from one, you can see what I've done and how I've incorporated that. Right? So mainly what we're looking at doing is taking the handguard and putting it onto an M4A1 Gen 8 Plus, in this case, receiver, which has the same connection points as the regular Gen 8 receivers, right? It's just a little different gearbox in there. So we took the handguard, right? And all I had to do is I had to kind of bevel out or sand a small section here just so that I can push on. You can't tell at all when it's on here, but that allowed that to push on all the way. So I made an inner piece, right, that actually connects to the receiver just as the factory one does. And then this gets pushed on all the way. And you've got this a threaded tip down here, and this super long fake suppressor from the honey badger actually just goes on in and threads onto that threaded tip. Adds a ton of stability because this fake suppressor in here or whatever is the same width as the handguard. So added that on. Did make this little piece I custom printed here just to give it a little bit different look, right? So this is just kind of a suppressor sleeve, I guess I would call it. I found it, it was different size. I think it was actually used on some sort of Star Wars type adaptation for an airsoft gun, but then I adjusted the size and made it fit nicely on to that fake suppressor. So we got that there. So that does fit on there nice and tight, and actually there already is a little recessed Allen kind of bolt in here, right? Or screw. And so I just utilized that to screw up into the piece that I made that attaches to the receiver. So that actually adds a lot of stability. But then I do like using little low profile risers of some sort that just connect the receiver and the handguard to give it even more added stability. So that was a new design I put together. And again, just finding a piece that I like and, you know, looking for a riser that was the right width that I liked and the right length, and kind of chopping the top and then putting a rail on top that was a rail design that I liked better and that was, again, maintaining that low profile. For the stock, as you know with the honey badger, you've got the telescoping stock, right? But then these pieces here, the rails are actually pretty big. So if I would have put it straight on without a drop, of course it's going to hit this here. So instead of hitting that button there, drop it down, and then now, of course, you can telescope it on the bottom below that just fine. So again, a little custom adapted piece that I made here. It fits on their factory. I make sure to go ahead and put threaded inserts on the inside of the receiver anyway, so that can lock it in place. So we got that locked in there, and then it's going to work really nice. And of course, your battery is going to go out in there. Okay, lastly, reused the nice, cool metal charging handle in there so that you've got that charging handle, and you do maintain the priming function with this one. I had to do some customization to the inside of this, like, you know, it's kind of a long T, and it was missing. I had to make a little block that dropped down, because when you pull back, there's actually a little button on the top of the gearbox. That little button is what does the priming, because when you pull back the charging handle, there's a little tab that hangs down on the factory one that pushes that button, and then of course when you let go, it slides forward and the button's disengaged. So added that to the charging handle. So really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. As you can see, it's obviously very similar to what the honey badger looks like. We just got black. If I would have been able to find like this perfect color, I probably would have color matched the whole thing, but I've never seen that brown paint color, so I went ahead with the kind of brown and black combination. With the lighting here, this appears to match almost perfect, but this is a slightly different brown, and it you know, it looks nice, it complements this, but I don't think it would have looked good if I would have painted it all in that color. Comments, questions posted below. Let me know what you think. Of course, check back. We'll do the demonstration. We'll test the FPS. I'll show you how well it's performing. And then, of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways. Thanks.